guys, welcome to my channel, Life Speaking Food. Good food for every soul and a word for every heart. Hi, I'm Chef Dolores, and today we are going to be making Caribbean food. Yes. That is one of my favorite foods to eat, but being a chef, I always put a little twist on it. You gotta make it your own, right? So, follow me along in the kitchen and let's make a complete, delicious meal. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, let's do it. Okay, you guys, these are all the ingredients that we need for our stew chicken. So, there's a lot of ingredients, but all these ingredients matter. So you have my bouillon base. This is a garlic. There's some more garlic. There's my pepper. There's my brown sugar, my bay leaves, my thyme. These are all my vegetables. These are onions and 2 different color peppers. We have our chicken stock. We have our browning. And we have our seasonings here. So this here's the allspice. That's a chicken bouillon. This here is paprika. That is salt. And this is pepper. And this here is coconut oil. It was in my refrigerator, so it's a little frozen. And we have the chicken here. It's already cleaned. And now I pulled off the skin as well because I don't want the skin on here for a stewed chicken. But my secret ingredient, chocolate. I know I probably just broke the rules of stewed chicken. That's why I'm going to be real cautious when I say Jamaican stew. Because if someone that's a Jamaican say, what? She put chocolate in here. We also have our bay leaves here, you guys. So, you know, you have your habanero pepper, and then you have your Scotch bonnet pepper. So they're slightly different. The Scotch bonnet is sweeter, and it has not a bit bitterness at all, where the habanero has a bitterness to it. It's more floral, whereas the Scotch bonnet is sweeter. So I have more brown sugar that I'm adding to this as well. So this will be a 1-pot method. Okay, I just wanted to explain to you guys about the pepper here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now this may appear to be like a Scotch bonnet, but it's not. It's a habanero. And that's why I'm doing these little extra brown sugar, because this is more floral here, and that is important. And the habanero is much sweeter. And once again, I added a little bit more brown sugar. So we're gonna go ahead and get all of this in this bowl, and then we're gonna let it marinate for an hour. So let's get the mixing here. Okay, so the chicken is all patted dry, it's all clean. So we're gonna go ahead and get our seasonings on there. So I'm gonna mix all of these together. I'm only gonna use half of this too. I'm gonna reserve the rest for adding it to the pot to taste, to adjust the taste. Because you know, when you're making stew, you always gotta make sure the flavors are there. That's why we have so many seasonings. That's important. So you have to have all these ingredients. All these ingredients play a major part. And I'm also gonna see if I have some scallions. We're gonna use that too. So let's just go ahead and just put half of this on there. There we go. We got half of that on there. Then we're gonna go ahead and get this all seasoned up really good. Now, a lot of flavor too, you guys, is gonna come from all the herbs, the brown sugar, and all the vegetables. Got that coated pretty well. Let's go ahead and grab our garlic in there. Everything's going in there, you guys. Pour this in there. There we go. There, go in there. I know this may seem odd. Why is she adding the bay leaves right now? But we have to add all of these ingredients to there. That's what we're gonna do. Everything in there. So I did not add the stock, the chicken broth base, that's garlic. I did not use the tomato paste or the coconut oil or the chocolate. Now, I'm gonna just pour this in, you guys. It's not like a set recipe I have for this browning here. It's really popular in the Jamaican culture to have browning liquid. So, go ahead and get this all mixed in, okay? You know, it's so important to marinate things, especially if you want it to taste better and you want all the flavor in there. So we want to make sure we get all of this in there. This is actually one of my favorite things to make. Is I love making Caribbean food. So one day, you guys, I'm gonna have to make you my beef patties. Jamaican beef patties and some callaloo. I wouldn't do too many fish recipes because a lot of times, sometimes the best fish to get is right towards the ocean. So to go somewhere and just buy fish from the store, I don't think it'll taste authentic, to be honest with you. So, wow, don't those colors look beautiful? We're getting all this stuff mixed up in here. Now remember, it's gonna sit in the refrigerator for like an hour. Okay, now I'm gonna cover this up right now. So it's so important to have that covered up. Okay, you guys, I got it all wrapped and we're gonna go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. And I always like to clean as I go. Clean as you go. Clean, go. So just remember that. It's so important. That way you'll be more organized. So let's get this in the refrigerator. Okay, you guys, it's time to get this stewed chicken in there. So that is the coconut oil. We're gonna let that get nice and hot. Y'all doing all right? I love using coconut oil. Sometimes I use it in place also when they ask for butter and cakes. And when I do a lot of vegan cakes or desserts, I always use coconut oil. So, what we're going to do, we are going to get this nice and hot. This is a one pot method, so we're gonna put everything in here, but we have to sear the chicken on each side, okay? And that is what we're going to do. So to get this process going a little faster, I did turn it up a little bit more to almost a mid-high. So we're just gonna take this chicken, let's get a little of the stuff off of there. I like to hear when I drop it in there, but we'll see. I hear a little something. So we don't want to completely cook the chicken, but the reason that we're searing it because we're locking in the juices and all the marination. So we're going to make room and try and get a lot of it in there, okay? I think I got room for one more. This will feed exactly 3 people. 3 people, you guys. Not like if you hungry. I mean, come on. How many pieces of thighs you guys think you can eat? I know men probably can eat 4 of these. So we're gonna let that cook on each side. And then we have 2 more to do. Actually, just one. Okay, you guys, it is coming along there. You see that? Look at that smoke. Already flipped them over. So, like I said, we're not going to cook these. We are just trying to lock in all those juices. That's what we're doing. Oh, it smells so good. So let it continue. Okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and add everything else into here. And we're going to let it cook really, really slow and low. So we're going to add all of this in there. That's all the marinade in there, you guys. We put that in there. I love the way this smells. It's just a combination of so many flavors that's so awesome. It's so balanced, so awesome. Look at that. I'm deglazing that. I'm gonna put some stock in there. So I didn't put the vegetables in first because I don't want those to overcook. I'm going to stew this, so I'm going to do it low. So we're going to go ahead and add our stock. There we go. A chicken base. More flavor. More flavor going in. More flavor. Wow. Doesn't that look good? I don't like the way my pot looked though. It looks all... Whew. I tell you, I am so into just cleanness. And it's all up on the side there. I don't like that, but whatever. It's cooking. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Now we're going to put some of this paste in there because that's kind of like a thickener. Some people will put tomatoes in theirs. I use paste, tomato paste in mine. Everyone has their own rendition of how they do things. So I'm dropping chocolate in mine, so I could just only imagine what people what y'all are saying right now. I can only imagine. So there's the seasonings in there. I'm dropping the chocolate in there. Yep, I dropped the chocolate in there. And if y'all was listening to the video, I told y'all why I did that. Okay, you guys, we're gonna let this cook down for a long, long time. And then we will finish up and do all our plating. Okay, let's get this covered. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, you guys, so these are the ingredients for the peas and rice. We have our chicken stock, we have our rice, our coconut milk, our beans, we have some coconut oil, a bay leaf, onions, the pepper, half of a teaspoon of that granulated bouillon, and we have some garlic. And see, these are thymes, but they are not the ones on that hard rough stem. So these are like from a garden. And so I use the entire thing because these little tiny stems have so much flavor in them. So I keep those, I just chop them up just a little bit. And then this here is my homemade Jamaican seasoning. So it has paprika, it has garlic, it has onion powder, it has allspice in there. It has turmeric, a little tint of nutmeg it has in there. It has ginger in there as well. And it has some cayenne pepper and it has regular black pepper. So this has to be a very well seasoned rice. So what some people do, they make a big mistake. They do not rinse their rice to remove all the starch from the rice. That is so important. And another mistake they make, their water ratio or liquid, seasoned liquid to rice ratio. So please make sure that you are following box recipes if you're going to make rice. And if you're not for sure and you made this rice a lot of times and you still mess it up, buy a rice cooker. I tell you, it will work. So let's get this in the kitchen and get it going. Okay, you guys, so I put the coconut oil in there. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the onions, the garlic, and the thyme. I like using coconut oil in place of vegetable oil, specifically for this dish. There is a different flavor too. So most of my onions here, you guys, are cut pretty small, but I see right there, I missed some. So it's important to get the onions all chopped really small so everything can cook evenly. So that is why when you're cooking, you want everything to cook evenly. You don't want certain things to taste raw and some of the other parts taste overcooked or cooked. So make sure when you're cutting your vegetables, don't do like Chef Dolores and miss up some of them. So we're just trying to release a lot of flavor there. That's what we are trying to do. I'm gonna go ahead and that's definitely gonna take some flavor. So now I'm gonna put the bouillon in there. We're gonna save that Jamaican seasoning to later. So it's gonna keep stirring. Now, if you would cut this in half and put this in there, boy, you're talking about coughing and your eyes burning. So I'm just keeping it whole. And it really is going to balance out the flavor. So this is not going to be extremely hot rice at all. It just gives a lot of flavor. And Jamaicans, they normally add a pepper to almost everything they cook, depending on what it is too. So, whew, I wish y'all could smell it. It smells so good. So now, we're gonna go ahead and put the rice in there. So we're gonna do a little coating method with this rice first. That is important. Make sure you get all the rice out because this is all measured correctly. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did say that baking is a precise recipe. And cooking is not. It's more to a person's flavor. But when I talk about water or liquid ratio to rice, that's very important. So, like I said before, just make sure you guys have the proper ratio. Follow the directions exactly the way they are. So what I'm doing now, I'm just really coating the rice really well. It releases a lot of flavor in the rice before it even gets done. And it's also very important to have a nice, deep, like a cast iron, or one of these too. Some people do theirs like in a cast iron skillet. I don't. This is one of my favorite pots that I use all the time. So you guys see how that's all blending in there? You hear that? Let's go ahead and add our, they call this rice and peas. Well, my mother seen these, she wouldn't call these no peas. What do you guys call these? You tell me in the comments. What do you call these? Now, normally I do not disturb this too much, especially like some people when they do steaks, they have to keep touching it and moving the steak around. And don't touch the steak, you guys. Once you lay it on that hot heat, let it cook. So I'm going to let this rice cook just a little bit more. I don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pot. Okay, let's see. All right, and to make this vegan, instead of using the chicken stock, you will use vegetable stock. So we're gonna go ahead, actually, I wanna pour this in there first. There's no particular method with the liquid, you guys. I just kind of want to coat this a little bit first before I add the stock in there. You know, I want them all to learn how to have a conversation, say hello. Now, I know some of you guys saying, well, why can't she just cook it with the coconut milk and nothing else? Well, that's not going to work. Because, you know, you got to have flavor and it'll be too thick and you won't really see the separation at the end. So you want the rice to stand out, not the coconut milk. Okay? Now we have that in there. We're going to go ahead and add this stuff. That's going to give a lot of flavor. Okay, I'm not going to stir it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this. This is that seasoning I was telling you guys about. Stir the water in the coconut milk. Ooh, you guys can smell that. It smells so good. So now, how do we know that our rice is done? Follow the instructions on the packet if you're gonna cook rice. And always do your research. I know a lot of people say, oh, I'm not doing all that. I'm just gonna throw it in the rice cooker. Well, you still gotta follow directions on the rice cooker too. Now, in goes the bay leaf. So we have all our seasonings in there, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead, bring this down to a medium high. We're going to let this cook and we'll come back and check it. All right, here we go. Okay, you guys, we have all the ingredients for the festival bread. We have flour, almond milk, baking powder, a little salt, nutmeg, butter, cornmeal, sugar, and vanilla extract. So let's get all our dry ingredients together first. We're going to put all of that together. The sugar's going in. Baking powder, nutmeg is in there, and the salt. Cornmeal is going in there. We're going to just mix all this up. Then we're going to make a little well right here in this bowl underneath me. All right. This reminds me just really cornbread if you really want to know the truth. But we are not baking this. So let me make sure I get all of my dry ingredients out. I remember when I was in culinary school, we used to make pasta. And we used to have to make a little well there. First, I'm going to put this butter everywhere. This soft butter. You don't need a lot. Some people use vegetable oil or shortening. I don't. I like butter. It has way more flavor. So now we got a little well there. I'm going to take this milk. I'm going to take this vanilla extract. Just like that. Move all that out the way. Make a little well, just like that. See that? So, we're going to go ahead and mix this. Now, some people like to do this with their hands. It's just like if you're making biscuits. You guys ever been to Biscuitville here in the north? They have, right live in front of you, you can see them making biscuits with their bare hands. And normally, when you're making biscuits or bread, some people use a dough hook, and I do have that next to my KitchenAid. But I figured I'll do it this way because a lot of you guys probably don't bake. And you're like, if I have to go out and do all that, forget it. This here, we are not going to bake it. So you see how I'm doing it now? Holding it over. Just like that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get all the dry ingredients to marry with the wet ingredients. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to get this all together. And then we're going to make some little rolls out. Stand by. We'll see the finished product. Okay. Look at that, you guys. So we have it all combined. We are going to cover this up for like an hour. So that's important. Don't try to bake it right away. So when we get this all done in an hour, we'll go ahead and we will roll them out. Okay. Okay, you guys, so let's get this festival bread done. So sometimes it's so important to see if you can get them the same size. So we're going to weigh each one. So before we do that, the scale is on 0. See how many ounces? I would say about 15 ounces. So let's divide that. Let's see. I would say 2.1 ounce a piece. So let's try to get that first. Okay. We're getting close. We're close. So let's try and go that route. 2 to 2.1 ounce. So I'm thinking this will make about 7. Why is that important? Because they all look the same. And if you're serving this to a group of people or guests, they expect their plates all to look the same. And the cooking time for each one will be the same. So that's important. We're getting close. We'll see when we get these going. So there, I got 7 of them. There's 7 of them. So, move this out the way. Close those up, and we're gonna get these in the fryer, you guys. All right, let's get in the kitchen. Now, we have everything ready. So let's see how this goes. We have it 350, which is a good thing. So let's try and drop these in here. I was gonna just let them swim on their own, but I kind of want to keep them contained so I can lift them up. And that way I also know that they're cooking the same time. They're all dropping at one time. So I don't want these to go rolling over to each other. So I think we're pretty good. Once we can get them done. So let's drop these and see how this goes. Look at them. Oh no, Lord. Y'all okay? So, we're gonna let this cook for a little bit, you guys. And I will see you in a bit. Okay, we are all done with this festival bread. It is extremely flaky. It'll hold up if you dip it in something, but it also is good just to eat alone. So let's put all of this together. Oh, I am so hungry right now. I am a kinky, coily, caramelized complexion with a hint of chocolate mint, and my words are deep. I push through my storms with the word of God, and with Jesus, I always land on my feet. I am a queen with a great big smile on my face. I speak the words of love and grace. The words of truth is what I speak. True meaning and education is the highest peak. Meaning, knowledge and understanding is just part of being wise. Of course, there are other meanings that rise. So the negative words that you may speak against me, they don't allow me to grow. You see, I know who I am. And now you know I am a queen.